You also have a high limit switch, which is wired in series. If that high limit switch is bad, it could do the same thing. And the way you test that high limit switch is you short between those two terminals. You go to where the high limit switch ties in, take you a jumper wire and jump from one side to the other. If your burner comes on, then you know the problem's a high limit switch. All right, let's say the problem is not in your burner or not in your fuel system, but rather you tested that and you see no fire coming on. So the next thing you have to check, you know you have fuel, you know you have air, so you have to check for spark. You do that by opening up your transformer. Take a stubby screwdriver or a stubby 5/16 nut driver and loosen the two screws that are holding your hold down tabs. And open your transformer. Okay. With the transformer open, you'll note you have two springs right here. To test your transformer, you have to start your machine, turn your burner on-off switch to the on position, then using a well-insulated screwdriver, note, well-insulated, plastic handle, not a wood handle, it's not all banged up, grasping the handle, being certain not to touch the metal, you lay it across these two springs. If it's a good transformer, as you get close to it, you'll see an arc of electricity jump up. If you do not, you have a bad transformer. If you touch it, it should be a bright blue flame. If it's weak, if it's orange or just barely any spark at all, again, your transformer is defective and you need to replace that transformer. Okay? I'm going to leave that open because I want to show you some other things. Incidentally, by the time you get there, you probably will have found your problem. Occasionally, you will need to change your fuel nozzle and your burner electrodes or check the setting on those. You'll do so by opening this transformer, removing this fuel line that we discussed earlier, then you'll find a nut that holds that burner tube. You just unscrew it. When I get it loose, I usually just slip it over the copper line. Then you reach inside, you'll see an L-shaped tube. You just reach inside and slide that over. Turn it 90 degrees to where the tube's pointing up and slip the burner gun out. If you notice the setting on these electrodes, it's just perfect. 5/16 of an inch apart, 5/16 of an inch beyond the end of the fuel nozzle, and about 3/8 to 5/16 from the center hole on the nozzle. That is the correct setting. Should you need to change the fuel nozzle, you will do so by holding this sector with a wrench and turning this nozzle counterclockwise. When you get the nozzle off, you put your new one on, reinsert your burner gun, and you're ready to go. But you can see it's not always that easy to do. Anyway, you get this inserted through the hole, slip the nut up on it, tighten this knurled nut down, and you get it, when you get snugged up, reinstall your fuel line, snug your fuel line. Okay, got it good and tight now. Then you reclose your transformer. You may need to take this loose. On some of them it's not in the way, on some of them it is. This little box that has your wiring, this junction box that has your wiring and your relay and rectifier in it. Then you retighten your screws on your transformer hold down, and you're finished with that process. Now, after having gone through all of this, you should have your burner operating.